Here try to understand. Lead is getting oxidized. So lead is not getting oxidized. Lead oxide is getting here reduced. So it is wrong statement. B. Carbon dioxide is getting oxidized. Carbon is getting oxidized, not carbon dioxide. So A and B both are incorrect. Carbon is getting oxidized here. So this is correct. Carbon is getting oxidized. Addition of oxygen is called oxidation. So oxygen is added to carbon to form carbon dioxide. Hence carbon is getting oxidized. So it is right. Lead oxide is getting reduced. Here removal of oxygen is also called reduction. So as the oxygen is removed from lead, so lead oxide is getting reduced. This is also true. But in your options 1, A and B, you have to find the incorrect. So A and B are totally incorrect. C is correct, that's why this one is not answered. Again C is correct, that's why C is included here. So this one is not answered. All included, C and D are included. Hence your fourth option will not be correct answer. So correct answer will be 1. Okay. So your correct answer will be 1, that bears A and B option. Next question number 2. Fe2O3 ferric oxide plus aluminium give rise to aluminium oxide and iron. So the above reaction is an example of 4 options are there: combination reaction, double displacement reaction, decomposition reaction and displacement reaction. Obviously this one is a displacement reaction because aluminium is more reactive than iron. So aluminium replaces iron from iron oxide to form aluminium oxide. So your D option is correct answer. Here Fe2O3 here D option, displacement reaction, is correct answer. Then come to the question number 3. What happens when dilute hydrochloric acid is added to iron filling? Take the correct answer. Here try to understand. What happens when dilute hydrochloric is added to iron filling? Okay, come to the option. Hydrogen gas and iron chloride are produced. So when you see the reaction, this one A is correct. Iron plus HCl, ferric chloride plus hydrogen gas. As we know, any metal react with acid to form their salt, metallic salt, and hydrogen gas is common. So in this way you can write. Question number 4. What is a balanced chemical equation? Why should chemical equation be balanced? Come to the answer. A balanced chemical equation must contain equal number of constituent atoms. Constituent atom means the atoms by which the reactants and products are made up of. Of the reactants and products, such equation is called balanced equation. So the number of, suppose that in this reaction 2 molecules of hydrogen, each containing 2 hydrogen atoms, and oxygen containing one molecule contains 2 oxygen atoms, to give rise 2 molecules of water, each containing 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. So when we calculate the number of atoms, hydrogen here one molecule having 2 atoms, 2 molecules 4. In water there are 2 molecules each containing 2 hydrogens, so 2 into 2, 4 again. Oxygen 2 here, oxygen 2 multiplied means 2 oxygen is here. So in this way the number of constituent atoms are equal. A chemical equation should be balanced due to law of conservation of masses. Law of conservation of masses explain that during chemical reaction the mass remains conserved. Okay, so it can only be possible when reactants and products contain equal number of constituent atoms. Question number 5. Translate the following statement into chemical equation and then balance them. So hydrogen, A is hydrogen gas combined with nitrogen to form ammonia. Come here. When hydrogen react with nitrogen to form ammonia, so we will write after balancing, try to balance. Here number of nitrogen is 2. Here number of nitrogen is 1. So how it will be balanced? When we write 2 here. So when we write 2 here, 2 atom of ammonia, then hydrogen will be 3 2 ja 6. Come to here and make it 3 molecules. So 3 should be written here. In this way, 3 molecules each containing 2 atom of hydrogen combined with 1 molecule of nitrogen containing 2 atoms to form 2 molecules of ammonia each containing 1 nitrogen and 3 hydrogen atoms. So in this way you can write and balance. Question number B. Hydrogen sulfide gas burns in air to give water and sulfur dioxide. So anything burns in air means reaction with oxygen. So when hydrogen sulfide H2S burns with oxygen means react with oxygen to form water and sulfur dioxide. This is a Skelter reaction. When you balance it, try to balance. So here you can write sulfur, hydrogen. Here how can you balance it? Just read here. Oxygen is in even number, and here oxygen 2 and 1 3 odd number. So make it even. By making it even, we first write 2 here. So when we write 2, oxygen will be 2, and here 2 4 it will be there. But when we write 2 here, the hydrogen become 4. So how can hydrogen become 4? We have to write again here 2 molecules. So when we write 2 molecules, the hydrogen become 4. But sulfur become twice. Then you have to make the sulfur again here twice. You will have to write 2 here. So in this way, your hydrogen, sulfur are balanced. Now come to the oxygen in this part. So oxygen, try to calculate oxygen here. 2, 1 molecule of water contain 1, so 2 molecule 2, and 1 sulfur molecule 2 and 2 sulfur molecules 4. So 4 or 2, 6 altogether. So when you write 3 molecules, you will get your equation balanced. So in this way, trial and error method, the equation must be balanced. Come to the question number C. Barium chloride react with aluminum sulfate to give rise to aluminum chloride and a precipitate of barium sulfate. So when a barium chloride react with aluminum sulfate, barium sulfate and aluminum chlorides are produced. So just on the basis of their radicals I have written. This one is not balanced. Now try to write their equal molecular formula with the help of valency. So as we know that aluminum has 3 valency and sulfate has SO4 together has 2 valency. So by exchanging the valency, we will write 2 here, aluminum 2 and sulfate 3. Okay. So in this way, Al2 SO4 whole thrice, and barium chloride. Barium is a bivalent, chlorine is monovalent. So barium lose 2 electron, 1 chlorine can take 1. So 2 chlorine comes to balance the valency, and in this way we will write BaCl2, Al2 SO4 whole thrice. Then barium sulfate, both are bivalent, so equalize, and AlCl3. Aluminum is trivalent, chlorine is monovalent. So 1 is not written here, 3 is written here. So in this way LCl3. Now try to balance it. How can you balance first? So while balancing, let me tell you, metals are balanced first. So try to balance the metal first. We just try to observe here in this equation. Aluminum is 2 here. So it will be balanced by writing aluminum 2 here. So first you write aluminum 2 here. Now count the number of chlorine. 2 3 ja 6. So it becomes 6. So how can Cl2 become 6? When we take 3 molecules of barium chloride. So 3 right here. So barium become 3. So BaSO4 equal 1 1 parts are there. So make here 3. So when we write 3 here, the equation is balanced. Now we'll observe, calculate, the equation will be balanced. So in this way, trial and error methods, you can easily balance it. D. Potassium metal react with water to give rise potassium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. Try to understand. Potassium metal is here. Potassium react with potassium monovalent, so K is written, or react with water, H2O, to form potassium hydroxide and water, hydrogen gas. So when a metal reacts with water, some active metal, hydrogen gas is produced. So now try to balance it. First of all, metals are balanced, so K is here, no problem. When we balance the hydrogen is here 2 and 1 3, here is 2. So we will have to make it even. Then it will 2 and 2 4 will be there. So making 4, potassium hydroxide first will make here 2. So when we write 2 here, now try to calculate the potassium become 2. So you write 2 here, potassium, 2 atoms of potassium. Now try to count the number of hydrogen. So hydrogen become 2 and 2, again here 4. So it will be 4 when we increase the number of molecule of water. So 2 molecule of water, if I write 2 here, now count the number of oxygen, again 2 molecule, each contain KOH 1, so 2, and here 1 molecule water 1, 2 molecule 2. So oxygen 2, hydrogen 4, potassium 2 here and here. So everywhere we write 2 atoms of potassium react with 2 molecule of water to form 2 molecule of hydrogen, potassium hydroxide, and only 1 molecule of hydrogen gas is released. So in this way you can balance the reaction. Now question number 6. Balance the following chemical equation. Again you have to know how the equation is balanced. Try to balance here. Here it is written, already equation is written. Nitric acid with calcium hydroxide, calcium nitrate and water are the products. These are the reactants. So try to again balance it. Then I write the nitrate here. See the nitrate. When nitrate is 2 in number, so by making it nitrate together 2 in number, we'll have to multiply it by 2. So when it make it 2, hydrogen become 2. Hydrogen is 2 here. But hydrogen again, 1 calcium hydroxide contain 2 and 1 2 here, so 4. So how can this water become 4? It takes 2 molecules. So write 2 here. Your equation will be easily balanced. Okay? Sodium hydroxide, sulfuric acid, sodium sulfate, water. I think you have no problem to write the molecular formula. Sodium is monovalent, hydroxide is monovalent, so 1 cancel, and OH we write. Here H2SO4, why H2SO4 is written? Because the sulfate has 2 valency, hydrogen has 1. So 1 we write, cannot here, 1 is not written. And sulfate valency is written in below the hydrogen, so H2SO4 will be written. Again sodium is monovalent, sulfate is bivalent, so 2 is written here, 1 not written here. Water H2O, oxygen has 2 valency, hydrogen has 1. So like this. How can we balance it? Again try to count. Okay, now try to balance. When we write metal, making metal first balance, sodium is 2 here, so compulsorily we have to make 2 molecules of sodium hydroxide. When we made the sodium hydroxide 2 molecules, hydrogen, count the number of hydrogen, 2 and 2 4, so make the water 2 here, becomes balance automatically, the rest are clear. NaCl, AgNO3, silver nitrate, silver chloride, sodium nitrate, all are monovalent, so no need to balance. 1 sodium, 1 chlorine, 1 silver, 1 nitrate, 1 nitrate. So it is already balanced. All are monovalent, so in case of monovalence, one loses 1 electron, another gain 1 electron, so there is no problem. Now come to here balance. Barium chloride with sulfuric acid to form barium sulfate, and 2 molecules of CH, hydrochloric acid. How can you balance it? Now try to count the number of chlorine here. Here 2, here 1. So we must have to write 2 here to make it balance. When we have written 2, hydrogen become 2, hydrogen is 2. Sulfate 1, sulfate 1. Barium 1, barium 1, so it is barium. Okay, question number 7. Write the balanced chemical equation for the following reaction. Calcium hydroxide, carbon dioxide, these are the reactants. Calcium carbonate and water are the product. So, first of all, we write the reaction. Calcium hydroxide. How can we write calcium hydroxide? Calcium has 2 valency. Hydroxide has 1 together. So, 1 here 1 is not written. So, Ca, 1 atom of Cn, Ca and 2 molecules or 2 radicals of OH we can take together. So, CaOH2 will write as the calcium has 2 valency, hydroxide has 1. In this way, you can understand. Carbon dioxide CO2, carbon has 4 valency, oxygen has 2. So, 4 or 2 when we write, so cancel it, we will write 1 is to 2. Okay, 2 is to 4, 1 is to 2. Calcium carbonate, when we write Ca, again bivalent, carbonate bivalent, to CaCO3 you can write, or H2 will write. When you balance it, you will find that it is already balanced. Try to understand. Oxygen is 3 or 1, 4. So 2 and 2, 4 here. Calcium is 1, calcium is 1. Carbon is 1, carbon is 1. Hydrogen 2, hydrogen 2. So it is already balanced. Question number B. Zinc, silver nitrate, zinc nitrate, silver. Zinc, silver nitrate. Again, silver is monovalent, nitrate is monovalent. So AgNO3 will write clearly. Zinc plus silver nitrate, zinc nitrate plus silver. It's a substitution reaction or displacement reaction. Zinc displaces the silver. We have studied. So now try to balance it. When we write, we see here nitrate is 3, 2 in number. Nitrate is 2 in number. So we write here 2 molecule of silver nitrate. So as we write 2 molecule silver, we will write here 2 atom of silver. So in this way it will balance. Okay. Next C. Aluminium plus copper chloride, aluminium chloride plus copper. Aluminium plus cupric chloride. You can write cuprous chloride too, but cupric chloride can also be written. Then aluminium chloride. Again, aluminium is trivalent, chlorine is monovalent. So 1 is not written here, 3 is written here. And copper. Copper is monovalent, you can write. Now balance it. Try to balance it. We observe here. Here the chlorine is 2, here the chlorine is 3. So it will be balanced, it will be equalized by its LCM. So when you take the LCM of 2 and 3, you get 6. So make the molecule 6 both the sides. So how can you make the 6 both the sides? Take 3 molecules. So when take 3 molecules, you write 3 here, chlorine becomes 6. So here again 2 molecules, it makes the chlorine, 3 2 just 6. Aluminium become 2, write the aluminium 2 here. And then copper 3, write the copper 3. So in this way you can easily balance. Question number D. Barium chloride, potassium sulfate, barium sulfate, potassium chloride. Barium chloride, barium is bivalent, chlorine is monovalent. So 1 is written here, 2 is written. 1 is not written, 2 is here observing. Potassium sulfate, again sulfate has 2 valency, potassium has 1. 1 is not reflecting here and 2 is observing. Okay. Barium, both are 2 or 2 cancel. So barium sulfate we write KCl 1 1 cancel. So in this way, if you will balance, you will see that chlorine is here 2, but chlorine is 1. So when you take 2 molecules of potassium chloride, it will be balanced. Again 2 potassium, 2 potassium. So in this way, your question will be balanced. Now come to the question number 8. Write the balanced chemical equation for the following and identify the type of reaction in each case. So you have to write the equation, what equation is written. So in the chemical equation you have to write, and also to tell you that what type of reaction is this. So first, just the chemical reactions. First, A, potassium bromide, barium iodide. Potassium bromide, barium iodide, to form potassium iodide and barium bromide. So as we know, potassium is monovalent, barium is bromine is monovalent. So potassium bromide we can write KBr. Barium iodide, barium is bivalent, iodine is monovalent, so one is written here, so BaI2 and Ki. Potassium iodide is monovalent each. Again, barium is bivalent, bromine is monovalent, so 2 is written here. So in this way, when you balance it, try to understand it. Potassium bromide, barium iodide, potassium iodide, barium bromide. So when we try to observe the balancing, here you say barium is 2, here barium is 1, so make it 2. Potassium again become 2, so make potassium 2, iodine is 2, again by making this. So 2 molecule of potassium bromide and 1 molecule of barium iodide here to form 2 molecule of potassium iodide and 1 molecule of barium bromide. It is a precipitation reaction. Okay. So solid barium bromide is a solid precipitate you will get in this reaction, and this is a double displacement. Potassium barium exchange their ion. So it's a double displacement. Both displaces each other. Potassium as well as barium. So double displacement or decomposition. You can also write. Question B. Zinc carbonate on heating produce zinc oxide and carbon dioxide. This is thermal decomposition. Thermal decomposition reaction. Zinc carbonate. Zinc again bivalent, carbonate is bivalent, so 2 cancel, make it ZnCO3. Right? Zinc oxide bivalent, 2 cancel, so ZnO we can write. CO2, carbonate 4 valency, oxygen 2, so 4 2 when you cut it, it becomes the valency of 4 written here, 2 is written here. So 2 and 4 when you can cancel 2 and 4, cut it 1 and 2. So that's why I write CO2 1 and 2 CO2. So it is already balanced. 1 carbon, 3 atom of oxygen, 1 and 2 here 3, zinc 1, zinc 1. So already balanced. Reaction is thermal. When you heat it, the zinc oxide is formed along with the release of carbon dioxide. C. Hydrogen plus chlorine, hydrogen chloride, all are in gaseous form. So hydrogen react with chlorine to form HCl. As you know that HCl is written 1 by 1 because both of them have one monovalent, 1 and 1 valency. So HCl is written. When we try to calculate their atoms, so chlorine is here. Chlorine is diatomic. It cannot be written as 1 Cl. Cl cannot be written. Cl2 we write. H2 is diatomic. So one molecule of hydrogen contains 2 atoms, but 1 molecule of hydrogen chloride contains only 1 atom of hydrogen. So make the hydrogen 2, we'll have to take 2 molecules. When we write 2 here, hydrogen become 2, chlorine become 2, and both will be equal. So in this way, come to the D. Magnesium is added to hydrochloric acid. Magnesium chloride is formed along with the evolution of hydrogen. Magnesium plus HCl, magnesium chloride plus H2. Again, chlorine has 1 valency and magnesium has 2. So we write MgCl2. HCl has 1. So try to balance it. Chlorine is here 1, chlorine is here 2. So just you write 2 here. When you write here 2, hydrogen become 2, hydrogen is 2. So already balanced. Then come to the question number 9. What does one mean by exothermic and endothermic reaction? Exo means out. So the reaction, the chemical reaction in which heat is released along with the formation of products are called exothermic reaction. Okay, like when you burn the LPG gases, methane when burns, produce carbon dioxide and water along with the evolution of heat, and light also come out. So heat is released. Carbon when burned produce carbon dioxide plus heat. Respiration even is a exothermal reaction, exothermic reaction. Now the chemical reaction in which heat is absorbed from the surrounding. After the completion of reaction, heat is taken out from the surrounding. Such reactions are called endothermic reaction. Okay, like during lightning, nitrogen reacts with oxygen to form nitrogen monoxide. Okay, so here minus delta heat is taken. Heat is taken from the surrounding. So lightning occurs, the heat is given to this. Again, photosynthesis is an endothermic reaction. The heat, light and heat energy is taken given by the sun. That heat energy is absorbed by chlorophyll molecules to reduce the carbon dioxide or reaction of carbon dioxide with water to form carbohydrate. So it is also an example of endothermic reaction. Question number 10. Why is respiration considered as an exothermic reaction? I have already told you that respiration is an exothermic reaction because in respiration amount of heat is released. When you respire, this reaction occurs. Glucose is oxidized. Glucose reacts with oxygen to form carbon dioxide as well as water along with the evolution of energy or in the form of heat. 686 kilocalorie energy is given out. So as plus delta heat is coming out, the reaction is said to be exothermal. Clear? Okay, in next video I will later explain next question.